Is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent. I worked there a decade. I was a teaching instructor for IRS, and I also accepted and denied offers and compromise. I want to tell you some, I guess, really important tips about offers and compromise. God knows how many I've looked at over the years. IRS, by the way, this stream is bad sometimes, so if I freeze, you'll know why. It's the South Florida breezes that come in. The computer can't handle the warm ocean breezes. Anyway, IRS last year accepted 21,000 offers in compromise, and I think they got in about 60,000. Most of them that are accepted by professionals. The offer and compromise, it's complicated. It's not for the amateurs, so people who want to do it. A lot of YouTubes are do-it-yourselfers. Now, don't be surprised if you don't get it accepted. The forms are long. The financial statement's a pain in the ass. You've got to have all the documentation, got to have all the explanation, and whether you hire me or someone else, it's well worth it to go ahead and pay someone if you think you have a good case. The first thing you have to know is you want to be qualified for the offer and compromise. IRS has a pre-qualifier tool, by the way, just so you know. Go irs.gov, pre-qualifier offer tool. The base rule for the offer and compromise, if you were to liquidate all your assets, everything, home, if you have a pension, cars, do you have more money than the tax liability? If the answer is yes, you can't file an offer and compromise. It is for people who really do not have the ability to pay, and it's for people who have to borrow money to pay it. So IRS is really only going to look for two things. They're going to look for your value of your assets, and they're going to look at the ratio of your income versus your expenses. You should know that IRS has a national expense categories that you must fall into. The average revenue officer working the case, or the person, would much rather reject your offer than accept it, because when it's accepted, it has to go through people to review your case and why you're doing it. I would imagine the average offer takes the average revenue officer person anywhere from 6 to 20 hours to work the case. On large cases, they'll pull your credit report to find out if you're telling the truth. They may be able to pull financial statements up from bank institutions to find out if they're matching up. They may pull a LexisNexis on your financial history over the years, but more importantly, it has to make sense. They're going to look at your last 3 years or 4 years income tax returns, see if your incomes remain the same. They're going to look at your education level, and they want to know if you're going to have future income potential. When you file an offer and compromise your second or third year into the 10-year statute, the agent's going to ask, can I collect more of this debt over the lifetime of the statute, which is 10 years? The most important thing I can tell you is document, 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 and write a narrative. When the person gets the case, this person only sees paper, they don't see you. So writing a really nice informative letter as to the hardship and what's going on is really critical. Most people don't bother to do that. They don't teach you to do that. So sit down and kind of let the person know what's really going on with you. If you have a medical condition, document it. If you have a history of this, let them know what that is. Become real to the person. Make your life real in their eyes so they know who you are. Make sure your documents are impeccable. IRS is going to look at your income by looking at pay stubs, and they want to see that all your expenses match up and that you follow the formula. If IRS only allows you $1,200 for housing and utilities, and you put $1,400, IRS is only going to allow that $1,200. So if you have any chance at all of getting this through, you want to have a professional, really look at it. And that's the formula. IRS is simply going to take what the value of your assets are, whatever that is, and they're going to look at whatever you have left over, and they're going to multiply it by the number of months left on your statute, and that's the form. That's the formula. It's not a judgment. That's not what looks good. They have to follow a very strict formula. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up. But that's what you need to know about the offer and compromise. So remember, about 60,000 going. Oh, by the way, did you want to know what the average settlement was? Take a guess what you think the average settlement was for the last year. On all the offers filed, the 21,000 accepted, the average settlement was 16,000. And I will bet there was no offer turned in for 16,000 because it's just the national average. Thank you for listening.